Welcome back today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Fabian, and welcome back to Education Unpack. Wherever you are joining us from around the world, we welcome you again. We want to thank those students the viewers who had time to look to our previous videos, and we want to encourage you to subscribe and also share our videos to your different audiences, so that once we upload new videos, you are able to be the first one to watch. Now, today we are going to focus on answering a very important question that came from one of our viewers. We want to really look into this as soon as possible, and it's very important. It has to do with everyone that's studying online who is focusing on advancing their career in one way or the other. Now, this is something which it's so important that we knew that one day is going to come up, because this student is sent us an email saying that he feels overwhelmed in the online classroom in terms of the information that is coming at him. So we wanted to know more. It's something that we would like to talk about. It's a topic that we wanted to point out because this goes down to the student experience. It's just so important that the universities cannot ignore this. Now, if you are a university don, if you are a strategist who is behind promoting an online study in your different academic institutions, if you are a marketing manager, if you are a director of studies, if you are a program director, whatever position you occupy in your school, in your university, you got to look into this. This is so important that it ties with the student experience. Student experience is vital. It is so important that you get them engaged. If you cannot engage the students, if you cannot do relevant stuff with them, then you're going to come up with all of these issues where they're going to feel like they are overwhelmed. So we're going to talk about these things, and we want to advise that wherever you are tailoring your programs, whatever your audience are, the student population, I'm pretty sure that they are having these issues because this may distract them. Now, this student is saying that he feels overwhelmed with the information that's coming from the university. So we want to advise the institutions, whatever universities you are in around the world, offering online programs, we want to first of all advise you to look at the following things that we're going to be talking about. We will talk about this. That is, do not, that's number one, do not overflow students. Do not overflow your student. This, it's important. We're going to talk about this in a moment. And the second thing we will talk about also is we've got to respect the students who are online studying with us, wherever they are studying from or studying with you, the institution. Another thing we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how to reduce the information. And finally, we're going to talk about that's how you can help your student, stay focused. These four things are more important for anyone who is studying online than bombarding them with unnecessary information. Now, what are we talking here? What do we actually mean? The fact that you are a student studying an online program, whether it's a master's degree, it's a diploma program, a bachelor's, doctoral program, it doesn't necessarily mean that you got the student at a hook, right? Because at the end of the day, they can make decisions as well. They are coming to study. They are looking for that vital student experience. You want to keep them warm throughout their studies. If they are with you for about a year, 2 years, 3 years down the road, you want to keep them engaged. Now, we understand that through the admissions process, there are some interactions that go between marketing, consulting, advisory, and education decision processes, and they just get to engage the student. Of course, this is so important. However, once they become a student, there are different ways to get to interact with them. Let's get this right. You coming to become a student at the school, they would engage you. You will get calls from consultants, emails from consultants, advisors, student support, wherever that may be, whatever structure you have at your university. Once they transition to become students, the relationship changes to a cordial one, one that is kind of in mutual respect. Because what we got from this student is they felt they were overwhelmed with information. And this is unacceptable because it may damage the student experience and goes a long way giving your university or your institution some kind of reputation. So because we have to look into this. Number one, do not overflow your student with information. Some universities feel that because you are an online university student, they can just send you information randomly. No, this doesn't work that way. We want to advise you, the school, that the type of information that you send to students while you're trying to engage them as during the inquiry stage should be different when they have transitioned to become a student. You want to send them relevant information. What helps them to regarding their studies, how this is important to them. You can't just go out there and sending them because you have their email addresses, bombarding them with information. This is absolutely wrong. You want to make sure that you tailor your communication to your different student population for things that are relevant to them. How is this information going to help them? What will change if they receive this information? What is the best time to email them some of that information? So you can help your students become, less information oriented, but more studies focused. So it is important for you, the university officials, to understand this. It is just so important. The second thing that we wanted to focus on here is to respect the rights of the students. The respecting the rights of the student, what we're saying here is so simple, is you want to know what you are sending to them, because because they're coming from different regions, they have different requirements, and they have different data that's needed for them to have access to. So you want to send relevant information. You don't want to get them tired before for a program that will run for 2 years. You don't want to send them thousands of emails which are not relevant. This is going to affect their experience in studying with your university. I understand some schools take this very seriously. They make sure that they send the information that's tailored to student success. But we just addressing this particular point. The fact that someone is studying with you does not necessarily mean that you have absolute control over how the information flows. Another part which we want to talk about is you want to reduce the number of emails and other information that is sent to them, because they are receiving emails from marketing, they are receiving emails from finance, they're receiving emails from their advisors, the academic advisors or educational advisors. This can really get people off the track, right? Because if you don't know what to send to them, of course, they have to be engaged with their advisors because they may need support and things like that. But if you start sending them on irrelevant information, that's not helping them to kind of focus on what is important, because at the end of the day, they are looking for their degree. The degree is so important to them than anything else. And the method of tailoring that learning is vital for them to enrich their student experience, to expand their horizon. So this is important for them, and not the bunch of emails that are being bombarded at students who are online, because again, that could lead to something else. So if we didn't get this information from one of our viewers. We will not be dealing into that. We will not be looking into that at the moment. The fact that we are looking into it, I know that you, the student out there who is studying with an international university or your local university, we know you are getting lots of emails, lots of information coming from a variety of sources. Most of the time, 50% of that information is not important at all. So we want to talk to you university officials to kind of refine what you send to a student. And the final aspect here is you get to be doing things like this. You're going to be doing things like this for students who are currently studying with your university. You get to help them stay focused, help them stay engaged. Now, how do you do this? You want to be on top of the information that the students receive, especially once they become students. You want to control the kinds of marketing emails that they receive. You want to control the amount of calls that they are receiving from their advisors. Relevant calls. I'm not saying that you cannot call students 5 times a day if it is necessary, if it's for their own good. I think a good student will not be angry that they are calling them constantly. They will be happy if they call them for relevant information. So you want to make sure that you send them things that are relevant, that each time they receive an email from the university, they find it important, they find it relevant, they find it something that could change their learning experience. Because overflowing your student with information will lead them, they may burn out, right? They may burn out with all of this information. And sometimes you send them more important information, they will not read it anymore. They will not even read that. And they kind of lost through the translation. They lost through that bunch of emails because they go into their inbox, they are checking their private emails, they are checking the emails inside the student portal. And this is not necessary. Let's try to focus on getting people who register as students to go through the smooth process. And we don't have to make things complicated. It is so complicated in some classrooms that students have no clue of what they are supposed to do. I mean, they are induction process that they go through, of course, but sending them unnecessary emails, it's not going to be a good relationship. So we are advising you, the universities, make sure that you reduce the information. Make sure you send student relevant information. Make sure you also try to engage them with important stuff that helps them. Try to send them relevant information that will engage them. So engaging your students, supporting them through the process, advising them, reduce the flow of information could be a vital key to you providing that excellent student experience. So we hope that you have this information, and the next time that you're forming your marketing strategy, you want to make sure that you have your student in mind. I also understand that some of that information is automated. Yeah, we do understand that it's automation that's going on. However, you want to know that you are dealing with human beings also. I get it that you having thousands of students in different regions around the world. However, once they transition from applicants to students officially, you want to build that relationship in another way. You want to translate how you communicate with them. You want to enhance their experience. You want to make sure that once they leave, they can also refer your school to another university. They don't want to feel like a number. They don't want to feel like their email address is code red. This is so important. You got to take this and make sure that the next time you are scheduling an emailing list, you want to think about that information going to the student and how are they going to receive that. It is so important. There is no two way around this. I understand some systems are not up to date, but we have to review that information as university officials. Make sure your student experience is at the core of it, because bombarding students with irrelevant information it's not going to do you any good. So we want to thank you for watching. We want to see you in the next video. We hope that this has inspired you. We hope this information can help the student that we're talking about, and university officials also can tap into this to improve their processes. And we hope that the next time you become a student or looking to become a student in one of the schools around the world, we hope this information will help you to, however, sometimes you can ignore that information, but the fact that someone sent us this email, we got to deal with it. So thanks for watching. We're looking forward to seeing you again soon, and have a pleasant day. Cheers. Bye-bye.